The number 2 team in those Sportsline simulations, the Duke Blue Devils, winning about 10% of the time. Duke, one of 3 ACC teams to advance to the Sweet 16, Gary, just like we all predicted, right?
Yeah, that's the thing about this tournament, about watching the bracket unfold, is it never goes the way we predicted. That's why whether it's Warren Buffett or anybody else can promise you $1 million or $100 million for a perfect bracket. Not going to matter. Nobody's ever going to get one. And congrats to the ACC. That league took a public beating for much of the season because, Duke was the only team that was consistently in the top 25. Jerry Palm, our bracket expert at CBS Sports, called the ACC heading into the ACC tournament Duke and a bunch of dwarfs. I don't know if that was an appropriate label, but that's the way Jerry Palm put it. And now they've got 3 teams in the Sweet 16. That said, I have never believed, and still do not, that tournament performance should make us reconsider anything about anything that happens in the regular season. So it is still true that the ACC had a down year, that the ACC, relative to what it normally is, was not good. It was the fifth best league in the country, according to KenPom. I guess I'd explain it this way. It's awesome that the ACC has as many teams in the Sweet 16 as any other league, but that doesn't mean the ACC this season was as good as any other league. St. Peter's is in the Sweet 16. Does anybody think St. Peter's has been one of the 16 best teams in the country? If anybody did, they wouldn't be a 15 seed. Iowa State is in the Sweet 16. Finished 4 games below 500 in the Big 12. Iowa State's not one of the 16 best teams in the country, but they made the Sweet 16. This is just the nature of this event. But if you're the ACC, absolutely stick your chest out with pride right now.
I would allege that the ACC has tournament play as part of its core identity, part of something that's been around for decades. The ACC was the first conference to have a conference tournament to decide who its representative would be in the NCAA tournament. And this is not the first time that we've seen the ACC have a high conversion rate. We had 4 of those 5 teams be able to make it into the second round. Of those 4 teams, we saw 3 of them advance to the Sweet 16. And Miami, in its wire-to-wire win against number 2 seed Auburn, absolutely looked prepared in a way that Auburn was not for the second game in that pod in Greenville. Jim Larinaga, Mike Bray, Notre Dame comes up short, but a great performance against Texas Tech. Mike Krzyzewski, all of these are head coaches that it's no surprise to see them making a deep run. And again, I just think that there's something foundational about the Atlantic Coast Conference, the way that it has always cherished the ACC tournament and the way that it has always really celebrated its NCAA tournament victories, especially with its current makeup right now. We see the ACC consistently having great representation in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. And I think it is that, yes, during the regular season, the ACC was down. All of those arrows were deserved. But I think that there is something a little bit more tied into the identity of the conference and a single game elimination tournament that has drawn the coaches and the players to draw real confidence out when it comes time for March.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.